everybody is saying, I am significant. You must recognize this, and you must treat me as a person.
In a society in which women are literally raped, it's quite natural and quite consistent that the environment, the third world, and the blacks also be raped.
The societies are stymied, as if we were incapable of resolving the deep contradictions caused by the great changes taking place.
Change is coming around by violent means. What do you think pollution is?
This is the end and the beginning of an era. You and I are living at an age when one world is dying and the other world is not yet born.
I think that it was a priceless experience to have lived at Loyola in those days. It was a priceless experience and a happy experience too. We were small and knew one another, and there was that sense of intimacy among the group.
The small campus tradition luckily has survived.
We're living in a changing time.
It's an increasingly impersonalized world that we live in. They don't want to go to university, they don't want to go to college and be placed in some kind of a slot and be slapped with a number.
Nowadays, it's not an individual who does the exploring, it's a technological machine. There comes a time when we have to stop the movement in order to insist that we be treated as human beings.
If you want something to change, then you've got to figure out a way to change it. Don't say it's wrong and then leave it there. Say it's wrong and go back and think about a way to change it. That's what our system is not doing. And when the system does do that, then I think it's going to be able to grapple with the problems of the future.
The reality of the situation is that although society still demands specialists, they're not demanding them of the institution any longer. Therefore, the institution's role is to produce people who are capable of living and working and adjusting to a society that's changing as rapidly as our own.
But I don't think the universities right now are producing en masse students that can deal with our society, a society that's changing as fast as ours, that requires constant change and constant flexibility, sort of constant renewal. I don't think that the institutions have been fulfilling their process. They realize that now, and that's encouraging. And in other words, we have seen the problem. I don't think we have all the answers yet, but we're moving in that direction.
There's the real world and there's the college world.
I'm realizing that I don't really know why I'm here. I don't know what a BA in psych is going to give me, and I want to do something.
there's a growing disillusionment with the whole process of the degree as it relates to jobs. And that's a good thing, and that's changing attitudes within the college. The number of students who come simply for an education is increasing every day, and the importance of education, for education's sake, is increasing. Why students come to college, I suppose there's a whole battery of reasons. Some come looking for jobs. Some come because they don't want to work. Some come because their parents are forcing them to come. And a great deal come because they think that there's a lot to be gained from education. They're coming to learn how to learn.
How has his profit picture changed? Okay? Suppose the government imposes a tax of 10 cents on each item sold. How much of the tax should he absorb, and how much should he pass on to the customer? How has his profit picture changed? Any questions on what
The main problems facing North American universities is that the experience of mass education is very, very recent. People still come largely because they feel that they're going to get a better job. And that's very difficult because once you're in a process, you don't know where the hell you're going. There's no guarantee where you're going to end up, and to a large extent, there's no guarantee that you're not on a wrong track.
University's job is to teach people how to learn and how to continue to learn all their lives. And I think that's the most important thing that goes on in university these days, and is within the eyes of professors and students is becoming more important every day. Loyola is evolving rather quickly, I think, in that area. As a standard institution, I think it's making great strides to face the reality that learning how to learn, the techniques of learning, is what education is all about.
If we're going to learn, we're going to have to learn from each other. I think that the main thing is that the only way I can explore aspects of me is through being lucky enough to have people who are willing to do that. And the only way that I can explore what it means to be human outside of myself is if people are willing to explore themselves with me. That brings us back to why I do the human nature course the way that I do. It's a course concerned with understanding human nature, human beings. So what do? Well, we talk. We're silent. But what they do depends on what they care about, how they feel that they can share something important or teach us something important about what it is to be human.
With all the hassles I've been having, she didn't even understand them. She didn't understand they could happen. And I guess I didn't have any friends except for my sister. I didn't feel I was close enough to anybody except Valerie because she was my sister, and I figured if I was going to talk to anybody, I should talk to her, and I didn't want to talk to her.
They say they're coming to understand themselves a lot better, coming to understand other people a lot better, coming to realize much more clearly what they've been doing, but at the same time to be able to express what they've been doing. Well, Ellie, how do you think the learning that you do in here differs from the way you learn in your other classes?
I'm not learning facts, I'm learning experiences. I'm learning people, not Pavlov's ideas or Freud's analysis or things like that, which are also very interesting, but it's different.
How many other classes can you say you know who's sitting beside you every day?
Some people are not interested in getting to know everyone. They rather skirt away from this involvement with people. I mean, a lot of people have lasted about halfway, three-quarters way through this class without becoming involved. And they're only now starting to think, well, maybe there is something in this kind of setup.
where do you begin to instill some kind of, some kind of atmosphere whereby people can ask questions? If you can instill this in the professor combining a lecture with students asking questions, and that's far out. And Loyola provides a little touch of that atmosphere because the classes are smaller.
Academics, like a good prof who knows his material and all that stuff, who's conveying what you want to know, I think does his job too. There's a place for everything. In my estimation, a school system is something that offers, at least it offers this, as long as there is an option.
Because we live in a highly mechanized society, there are not many demands placed on us physically. And as a result, I think that students today are becoming more aware of this, and as a result, more aware of the need for fitness and its value as far as we're concerned, you know, in coping with day-to-day problems. Students are more and more involved and they want to participate themselves. It's no longer sufficient to spectate. They want to get involved. They're aware of the fact that more and more leisure time is available and that in college and beyond college, they're going to have to look for ways to fill this leisure time in a valuable manner. Students are looking for the social aspect because it's a way to get to know others in a more relaxed and informal setting.
I think its basic richness is it creates a space where you can come in contact with people.
I guess you learn a lot from yourself because it's a time where a lot of the barriers are down. When you react to what people think of you, and you begin to know yourself more. So the education really lies in learning to live with other people.
I think it's an educational institution with a lot of deep traditions, all of which were beneficial at one time or another, some of which are hindrances now. More and more, it's an institution that is recognizing its population is changing and that it has to adapt to that. That society is changing and it has to adapt to that. And I think that Loyola is really doing that. I mean, it's not paying lip service to that. It's really, really trying to confront the problem. That's what's happening on our campus right now. It's probably what's happening on a number of campuses. And that may take years to really come to grips with it. But there's which what again I find so encouraging, there's a real attempt to locate the problem, to recognize it, and to deal with it. In other words, if the institution is willing to admit that its constituents are changing, that the needs of those constituents are changing, the needs of society are changing, and the fact that the institution has to change to meet all of these factors, that's a significant step forward. And if you're willing to deal with it, in my opinion, eventually we will. Eventually we'll come to grips with it. We've got to build people who can maintain a sense of self-security, a certain amount of tranquility within an incredibly fast-moving society. How do you maintain peace of mind at the speed of light? That's what we have to teach people supposedly in university.